what I love about network marketing is you don't. It's not that you just find yourself. You find your spirituality. You become closer to things. You understand.
Mean?
Like I've gone closer to my faith through network marketing. If that makes sense. I started belonging a little bit more through network marketing to my faith.
Welcome to the Excellence Project. My name is Eric Worre, and in today's episode, I have Rakan Khalifa. I'm excited to be able to talk to this 27-year-old network marketing entrepreneur, 7-figure earner, the lessons learned along the way over the course of the last 6 years of his journey. You're going to get a lot of great nuggets, great insights from it. I enjoyed the conversation. I know you will too. So with no further ado, let's jump into our conversation with Rakan Khalifa. Rakan Khalifa.
Hey.
How are you?
What's up, Eric?
From Toronto,
Canada.
So you've been involved in network marketing for how long?
6 years. 1 month are we in? We're 6 years this month.
6 years.
Yeah.
All right. And you're how old?
Anniversary. I'm 27.
27.
Yeah,
so you started when you were 21. Did you go to university?
I did. I didn't finish though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I just saw network marketing.
Me either.
I'm like, yeah.
Me either. So you saw network marketing partway through.
Yeah.
And got distracted.
I just fell in love.
Fell in love with it.
Like, how can you not?
What I want to explore in this conversation is, as a young man, how you've become successful, ups and downs, lessons learned, right? Peaks and valleys, right? All of this, what some people would go through. It's funny in our profession, after 6 years of working hard, you can consider yourself a little bit of a veteran.
I agree. Like I was actually thinking about this a couple of days ago, and I'm like, I don't think, like I would think after 10 years I would be a veteran. Like a decade in the industry, I would be yes. Like this is what I want to accomplish after 10 years. But I don't feel I don't know. Maybe it's me, but I feel like I'm like still like starting up.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I've gone through phases in my business. And I found like it took me time to find who I am in the business, even after making 6 and 7 figures. But I feel like this is the time where, okay, well, I know who I am and I know who I want to attract and I know what levels I want to reach at.
Yeah. So I want to talk about all that. I want to talk about building in different countries around the world. I want to talk about what you've done to build your brand. I want to talk about how you've developed other leaders. Your different strategies, lessons learned, all of that. So
it could be a 4-hour podcast for sure.
Yeah, we can go deep, which would be fine.
Yeah.
Let's start with the origin story. Where are you from?
So I'm Palestinian, born and raised in Saudi. Came to Canada at 18 years old for schooling. And
what was it like growing up in Saudi Arabia?
Well, I mean, Saudi is not the Saudi right now that we see. That's for sure. It changed over time, but it teaches.
What's the biggest changes?
Well, everything.
Like what?
Women driving. Women driving. Let's just that. There's many things. Like the country's more open. There's more celebrities going there. It's more open for tourism. They have just evolved over time. They saw that they want to be the next. I would say Dubai. Like Saudi right now was Dubai 20 years ago.
So it was a little more restrictive when you were growing up?
Yeah, absolutely. So there wasn't a lot of... And you know what, Eric? I've heard of network marketing in Saudi, in a massive company. And actually, the company is still around. I was 15 years old, though, right? And they asked for this big price. The guy was sitting down with me. I still remember, like, he kept... BBM days kept pinging me and, like, I want to see you and come through.
BBM?
Yeah, BBM. It was BlackBerry.
Oh.
Eric, come on, man.
BBM?
BBM.
I watched the BlackBerry movie. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't.
You have to watch it on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
They had 45% of the
market
global cell phone market share. And today they have 0.
Wow.
So this movie is basically the real life story of what happened.
Of how it happened. Wow.
And how they rose, how they fell.
Crazy.
Lessons learned.
But I mean, yeah, everybody at that point, everybody that I knew had a BlackBerry.
Yeah.
Like even when I first came to Canada, it was hot. Very hot.
Yeah. Everybody loved the little click. Click, click, click. They were in love with the clicking keyboard.
It's true.
The satisfying click.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't change. The BlackBerry company wouldn't change, wouldn't adapt to the full screen.
Yeah.
And when they finally...
Eventually they adapted, but it's too late.
When they finally did, it was so glitchy and it wasn't many problems.
I've had the updated version. I've had it.
Not as good. No, they were way behind.
No. Very.
Apple ate their lunch.
Oh my God.
So anyway,
yeah,
BlackBerry.
going back. So
BlackBerry back when you're 15.
I was, you know, this guy sat down with me and he's like, listen, man, you just gotta buy this product, and it's this product that does this, and you, this is you, and then you bring 2 of your friends. I'll talk to them for you. And then he kept drawing the pyramid, and I'm looking at this, and I'm like, well, this would be like a cool idea, but I guess I have 2 limiting beliefs, self-limiting beliefs. Number 1, I can't sell this. Number 2, I don't have the money to get this, and I never got involved. And then when I came to Canada, I was more of a lover of the product. So called, and just so you know, you understand, I wasn't like an entrepreneurship guy. Like I've never thought myself as a guy that's
I want to stay before we get to the Canada, you know, the evolution with your schooling and everything else. What was your family like? What was the mindset like? What was the culture like?
My dad's an entrepreneur.
Family? Your dad's an entrepreneur.
Heavy entrepreneur.
And
like wealthy entrepreneur.
And you grew up not wanting to be one?
I grew up not wanting to be one because it was so ups and, like, there were so many ups and downs.
So
and I saw all my friends had this like, you know.
So you wanted stability.
I want stability in my life.
Versus volatility.
Yeah, because we've had, you know, at one point in our houses we have maids. At one point my mom was cooking, so it was this like battle back and forth, and I didn't like it. I just didn't like the instability.
Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah, I have 3 younger.
3 younger.
3 younger.
Brothers, sisters?
I have 2 sisters, 1 brother.
2 sisters, 1 brother. I just know the one sister.
Yeah, the 1 sister. She's borderline 7-figure earner.
Yes.
And then a younger brother. He is almost a full-time income earner in network marketing. He's 18 years old, young guy. Yeah. And the youngest one is 15. 3 more years to get her started.
Right. And did your parents ever get involved?
In network marketing? No.
Yeah. No.
So my mom is a housewife. Well, I mean, I remember when I first, my mom was always on board with anything I've done. My dad was like, "This is stupid."
Really?
Oh, come on.
Even as an entrepreneur.
Oh my God, he's like, "This is stupid."
This wasn't real in his mind.
And the problem is with that I've always had this conflicting message with my dad, because it was always like, I told him, you know, I had a job in Canada. I'm like, I want to do this, right? And he was like, one day you're gonna wake up, and you're not gonna like it. And I don't know, I guess I ignored him. I've never really taken like my dad's words to that extent, because he's always wanted me to be this engineer, and I'm just not.
He's an entrepreneur, and he wants you to be an engineer?
No, well, he was an engineer, but he owned the company.
Okay.
So he graduated, so he wanted, you know, to I guess to pass on the company.
Yeah.
But then he had his troubles, and that eventually the company shut down. So when I came here, I'm like, well, to Canada, I'm like, I need to be able to just have stability.
Okay, so you get to Canada. You're by yourself?
Yes, 18 years old.
18 years old.
Barely.
Where'd you go to university?
Barely English. I went to York University,
York?
Toronto, Canada. Yeah.
And were you a good student growing up?
No.
So how'd you get into this university in Canada?
I mean, I guess
just they wrote a check.
Back home, you can, you know, they'll pass you just to pass you.
Yeah,
especially international schools and private schools.
Yeah,
you pay a big fee.
Did you grow up in private schools?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was brought up as a rich kid.
Yeah.
School was $30,000-$40,000 a year.
Wow.
Private, English teaching.
Yeah.
Drivers.
So
maids. Yeah, like
access.
a good life. Yeah.
Yeah. And even so, you're a little bit risk averse.
Yeah. I just didn't. I don't know. The idea just never. I never liked it. But I guess maybe it's this thing that you go back to your roots at one point.
Or were you just being rebellious?
Maybe I just didn't like what happened there, so I wanted to just
don't tell me what to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. I'm going to do this other
possibly.
thing.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I feel like because it's network marketing, such a new age of entrepreneurship. So when these other entrepreneurs see it and they're like, well, this is like not real. This is not, you know, tangible.
Sure.
And there was no point of me really battling my family for it, right? I've always done what I wanted anyway. So I just kept at it every day. One of the things that I've done just so I can not be involved, not saying that my parents were negative or anything, but it's the little words you hear here and there.
Yeah.
Is this little thing still happening? Is this still doing? Are you still doing this? Are you really on this call? So I just made it easy for myself, and I just went to a Starbucks every single day. Single day for 2 years.
Now, what do you mean when you were in Canada?
When I started network marketing, and I didn't like my parents.
In Canada?
Yeah, in
Canada. Were your parents in Canada too?
They came after. Okay. They came after.
But still you felt like you needed to have your own
and in my own space for sure.
All right.
So, went to Canada, went to school, couldn't figure this out. I've had he hates when I call him a mentor, but I feel like he was like a father figure to me in Canada. And I was hired at a job where they were paying me such like a small number, and I've never had a job. In Saudi, it's borderline illegal to have a job if you don't have a degree or you're not sponsored by. There's some technicality when working in the Middle East. And so I've never had a job in my life. I've never worked for my own money. I've always had money from my parents. And it's crazy for me to work and me to make money. So I've had multiple jobs, like typical Arab jobs, shisha bars, shawarma places, like something that I understand. But then the last thing I ended up was working at a gym. And this is when I really fell in love with learning. It's because for you to be able to...
timeline again, you're in Canada. You're going to school.
I went to school for 2 years.
And then you start working at a gym, or during you're working at a gym?
So during the second year.
During the second year.
And
what were you studying?
I went to civil engineering.
Civil engineering.
Engineering. Yeah.
I've heard that most billionaires are engineers.
Yeah, well, I didn't graduate, so I don't know.
So I was like, wow, that disqualifies me.
And you know what? Here's my philosophy, because I've heard that before. But here's my philosophy about engineers. They see a problem, they like solving it.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes they create problems to solve it. So I feel like this is why they have that billionaire status. I don't think it's because they studied something.
It's a problem solving
aerodynamic.
skill.
Yeah, exactly. Aerodynamic spaces. I don't think that is what got into a billionaire status. But I feel like it's the ability, like,
saw a need in the market, solve the problem.
Yeah, because I know, like, a lot of my families are engineers, and they thrive off working X plus Y. I'm like,
well, and you know what's funny? You do the same.
Yeah.
Inside of your network marketing
but
business.
in a real business world,
What?
right?
What's different?
I agree.
This is a real business world.
Yeah,
you're building infrastructure. You're solving a problem for people. You're doing all this
You're
stuff.
seeing what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah. Where's the need? How do you fill the need? What's a more efficient way to do something? How do you provide value to your to the world, contribution? So you're working at a gym. Yeah. Are you done with school then? Did you drop out?
I'm like half in, half out.
Half in, half out. Yeah. So emotionally you're out. You're still going through the motions because that's still probably the only way you can stay in Canada, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. You got to be able to keep your student status.
Student visa.
Yeah. Student visa. So you're going to school, but you're not really caring much about it. Yeah. You're working at a gym. And then this network marketing idea pops up again.
And then, very long story, but long story short, I wanted to make extra cash outside of the gym. I started working at a shisha bar on the weekends, and at the shisha bar, I met my so-and-so called mentor upline. Okay. He was just spending a lot of cash, and I'm like, "What do you do for a living?"
Right?
What is this? Where is this?
It's like the Wolf of Wall Street. Show me your check, bro.
Well, he didn't show me no checks, but he showed me a car. He was driving a brand new R8, and that was like my dream car at that point. I'm like, wow. And then he's like, "Listen, I'm drunk. Add me on Instagram. I'll text you later." And he really ignored me for like I was like, "Can we please talk?" For 3-4 days. And then he invited me to an event. I showed up, and I'm like, "Well, I guess this is common sense. This is nice."
Makes sense. So it's a combination of his credibility and a system that made sense to you in your mind.
Yeah. It's just the product made sense.
Product made sense, but
I didn't join as a network marketing.
Okay, so you joined as a product user.
Complete
all right,
customer.
This makes sense. Product user.
I like this. I may use this. This can benefit me on the side. Yeah,
and I can also hang out with this guy a little bit.
Exactly. And this circle looks like they're an elevated circle. Maybe I'll learn a thing or two from them.
I can work my way in to get around powerful people.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
How strong that desire is.
It's crazy. I really wanted to be from the circle.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, I was a customer for 6 months, didn't work with a single person. And one of the times they were launching a new product. So, my upline calls me and she's like, "Hey, you should come. We're announcing this new product." I'm like, "Okay, I guess I'll come to the event." So I go to this event, it's packed, everybody's excited. I'm like, what's going on here? And I guess they launched this new thing, and I liked it. I'm like, "Oh, this is cool." After is where like the leadership went to like a shisha bar. It's a shisha bar that I used to work at. I'm like, well, I used to work there. I can hook you guys up. Like anything to just let me
Get
just
in, right,
be
right.
close. And I went, and that was my first time really like having a deep convo, I guess, with that guy. And he's like, man, I don't know what you're doing. You've been here 6 months and you haven't really built a business. I'm like, why would anybody, like, I guess the products are amazing. Why would anybody like build a business around this? And I guess it wasn't long, but he just gave me some things. He just showed me what's possible. And that's when I decided that day I'm like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to do this I'm going to figure this part out. And I was never the kind that I'm going to try it out. I said, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to do it, I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah. So you're going to go. So was there any hesitation because you're kind of risk averse, you're kind of entrepreneur averse, you're looking for a steady path? This is not a steady path.
Yeah, but I still had a job.
Still had a job. So this was something like
on the side.
Your downside was
weekends,
you're
late
okay.
weekends. Yeah, I have nothing better to do.
So you decide to do this as a side hustle. And this was when, how long ago? 6 months like now? Or 6 years,
6 years, yeah, 6 years ago.
6 years.
Yeah.
So you decide to do it. And what did part-time?
Actually, like 5.5 years because it's been 6 months, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
So what did part-time look like to you?
An hour, 2 hours a day.
That's what you were doing?
Yeah.
For how long?
How
long were you at that pace, at that level?
Well, my first 6 months, I didn't recruit anybody. Second 6 months, I recruited maybe 4 to 5 people. Total check of like under $300.
4 or 5, not 45.
No, 4 to 5. Yeah.
Okay, got
4
it.
or 5 people. Let's just say 5 for the sake of numbers. All equivalent maybe to under $300 in commission. And
making like $300 total for the 6 months?
Yeah, total.
It's a good thing it's part-time.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been bad.
Yeah.
And after that is when, some situations happened in my life that I had to turn the heat up.
So explain.
And it was my first time seeing my mom work. Right. And I didn't know about it. Right. So I got a call. It was a Starbucks. Typically, so as I said, every day, Starbucks, 8 a.m. to almost every single day. Right. I go to work. Even after work, I'll come back, stay at the Starbucks. At one point, I was doing like, a morning shift and a late shift for network marketing. Like in the morning, I'll just send out some messages. At night, I'll go back to these messages. And I got a call from a person that lives in our neighborhood. And she's like, hey, I think I see your mom. And I'm like, it's 8 a.m. My mom is a princess. She sleeps till 10, 11 o'clock. No way, it's my mom. She's like, sometimes you have this feeling, Eric, that you want to be able to, it's just a weird feeling. It takes you to a place. So, I turned up my car. It's like 2 minutes away. And I have a video of this. I don't know why
What's 2 minutes away?
Sorry? The where my mom was working.
So where was she and where were you?
So I was at a Starbucks.
Where?
She was working beside my house.
Where? Which house?
Canada.
And your mom was in Canada?
Yeah, my mom came after two years.
Okay. So your parents are there now?
Years. Not all my parents, just my mom and my younger sister.
Okay.
Right? And then it was slowly transitioning to Canada at this point. Because I made some money from my job. I paid for a lawyer and I'm grabbing them.
This is from the health
from my
club.
job. From the gym. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so you're being the good son.
I mean, she literally just came to Canada.
Send some money.
Yeah.
Over,
they literally just landed in, like, it hasn't been like a couple months yet.
Mm-hmm.
And
so you hear that your mom is working.
Is working, yeah.
You get in the car.
She's working like at a. You ever seen these ladies that work at a stop where they let the kids go?
Like a traffic stop.
Yeah, traffic.
Whatever, crosswalk.
Yeah, exactly.
Monitor.
So
type of thing.
Because I couldn't believe it, I actually have a video of it and I filmed it in I have actually played it at GoPro. And as I was approaching, and I see my mom, and I feel like as the oldest child, I felt like maybe I haven't done enough. So I actually asked her, I'm like, why would you even get a job? Like, I feel like I can take care of the family. And in short term, she said, I kind of saw your bank account that it's not looking good. And this is when, like, I call up my upline and I'm like, what do I need to do to make a lot of money?
Well, first off, before you go any farther, can you get us that video so we can put it in here?
I absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
So check out that video.
Yeah.
We'll come back.
Short video.
Yeah. As soon as it's done.
Yeah.
So, all right, we're back from that. So your mom says, look, kid, I
just need
I see how much you're making.
Yeah.
There's no way we're going to get where we need to go. and you're like, as the oldest, this is not cool. This is my mom is not meant for this.
And my mom's never had a job in her entire life.
Yeah. So she was like, swallow her pride, go do that thing. But it affected your pride.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, not on my watch.
No, not happening.
This is my situation. So it's funny. Some people are motivated by inspiration. Some are by desperation.
Yeah.
So this is kind of a desperation moment. Like something has to change, right? So you call your upline. What do you tell them?
I need to make money fast, like quick. And she invites me to, and by default.
So your upline's a woman.
A woman, yeah.
But
because
your mentor's the guy.
It was the guy, yeah. Okay. He was her upline pretty much, right? She was like just helping out. And she's like, well, we're going to Vegas in a week and a half. And I'm like, why are we going to Vegas? She's like, oh, we have this event for the company. He's like, you'll learn everything you need, you'll learn there. Okay, I guess. How much is it? And gives me a number. And then I look up how much the flights are. And then I look up how much the hotels are. And I'm like, oh, this is not cool.
I'm going backwards.
Yeah, this is like, I will go really deep into, and I don't really have savings because I spent everything, bringing them to Canada. And I called my younger sister and I said, my bank is not working. Can you send me $500? Because I already have 500. This is another 500. And maybe this is a story that I've never shared before. The $1,000 was enough for the flight and the convention ticket. It was never enough for the actual hotel. And, after a week and a half, it's my first time ever, first of all, in the States. Like I've never been to the States. So my first city that I come to was Las Vegas, which is insane. I land a little bit at night. I don't know nobody. Nobody knows me. Just that upline. And I guess the grand upline, he kind of knows who I am, right? The kid from the club. I that night we had a mastermind at night, and it was just right beside the pool. And I was just talking to a guy till like 3-4 a.m. and I eventually end up sleeping at like right beside the pool. I don't know how security didn't kick me out or something. I woke up. The convention was 9 a.m. I woke up 8, got ready. By 8:20, I was just right at the door, ready to take some notes. So that was like, and I guess that event kind of opened my eyes to the network marketing. I've seen all the success stories, and something in my head, Eric, said, I'm better than these people.
Yeah. And interesting. Some are like inspirational. Some are like inspirational for different reasons.
Yeah, like, I'm like,
these people are not that sharp.
Yeah, but
I can do better than this. If they can make any money, I'm going to get rich.
I was a little shocked.
Isn't it interesting when you get out of? I've said often that big events are where big decisions are made.
I agree.
It's hard to make a big decision in a small environment. So
you need to be able to see
you can if
picture.
the desperation's strong enough or whatever, but you just don't have enough examples of greatness, and you're too familiar with the people and all that stuff. When you get into a bigger environment, like,
this is
these people are playing at a different level, and they're still not that amazing.
And it wasn't even like that big of an event. Like I see some people. Yeah, one of my dreams was to host these big events or to be in these big. My company at that point was a small company. It wasn't even like there was a couple hundred people at the event, but it was just the examples that were set on stage. I'm like, well, I like this guy. I don't know why this guy's making this much money, but if he is, I'm like, this should be a piece of cake.
Right.
Yeah.
So you finish this event. You're kind of inspired.
I'm charged up.
You're charged up.
Ready to go.
But you're also a little in debt. Did you come by yourself?
I came for myself. Yeah.
Came by yourself. You put all this stuff on credit card, slept by the pool, all that stuff. You get home.
Yeah.
What happens?
So I messaged my upline right away, which is the guy. And I said, what do I need to do now? We finished the event. Just give me something to do. And he's like, you should host the home event. And I'm like, no. You want me to invite people to my house? And I you know, in an Arabic household, that's like a just big no-no. Like
is mom going to be making appetizers?
Like my I'm like, so I found a way to break down the news to my mom. And I'm like, Mom, don't worry, just go upstairs. By the time you're done, I will be done. And I had a week, right? So we come back.
Why is it a big no-no? Just in Arabic culture?
Just, I guess
it's just family.
Yeah, it's just, this is the house for family.
Yeah.
Or people that know family. These are random strangers.
Right.
And mind you, I haven't been in Canada for so long. I don't have a lot of contacts. I wasn't like a social media kid, or I didn't have a big following or anything. I didn't even really post on social media, a couple pictures here and there. And I started inviting. And it took me a week. I invited, I believe it was anywhere from 700 to 900 messages that got sent out to people.
Okay.
And it wasn't no copy paste.
Yeah.
I'm talking privately, their name, sometimes a voice note. Like, I'm trying to make it as close as possible. And I'll send you another picture you can put up after of my first home event. There was 8 people in the room. 4 of them were on the team already, including my upline, and 4 were guests.
So, and if you're listening on podcasts, you can go find the visuals of the video version of this on YouTube.
On YouTube, for sure.
But so you see this picture, 8 people.
Yeah, 8 people.
4 were already on your team.
Yeah.
4 were guests.
So that, in a sense, crushes my soul. I'm like, I've been invited for this
700 messages,
right? And
4 people.
And I took a week off work, right? Because I really just wanted to just focus on this event.
This is when most people quit.
And I don't think I've had thoughts to quit. Maybe it just took me a little bit back. But, after that event, nobody signed up. But I've had so many people like, oh man, I wish I'd come, but I just had this thing. So I've done one after a week and a half or 2 weeks. And the house was full.
Like,
I've had over 50 people.
Do you have a picture of that too?
I had to have a picture.
All right, good. So, and how many people were there?
Almost 40, 50 people.
40, 50 people. Yeah. What happened in the second one?
And this is the second one when people signed up. And I saw, and that month I made $1,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you sign up some people finally.
Yeah.
You get things moving a little bit. Most people get so discouraged, their first one out there. How was your presentation?
Well, I was very smart with it.
Yeah.
I just said, hello, everybody. Welcome to my house. My name is Rakan. Listen, I have this great opportunity for you guys. I will let my upline speak.
So you just introduced.
I just introduced.
Yeah. So second one, same thing?
The second one, same thing, right? I just shared a little bit of my story. That's all. And I love the way you formulate stories, is that, you just have a 3-step system, pretty much what you do, what you hate about it, and what the solution is. So I shared that, introduced my upline, and kind of he spoke, he did the presentation, and that was when I've had.
You probably got the attention of your upline for the first time.
This is when my upline was like, "Watch out for this kid." Yeah, watch out for this kid,
and that had to feel good.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got recognized
finally. So I made $1,000. I got promoted to this rank.
Yeah,
right, and I was excited, man. I started slowly started seeing myself as doing this. Mind you, I still had a job.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still doing this on a part-time basis.
But now part-time's what is part-time?
Nice.
I understand, but what does part-time look like now? It was like 1 hour a day before.
Yeah, now it's probably
make that
more.
$300.
Yeah.
In 6 months.
Definitely more hours.
What do you think it was?
Maybe like 4 hours, 5 hours a day now.
4 or 5 hours a day on top of
before
your
work, after work.
Yeah, before work, after work.
Yeah.
So now you've, ramped up the intensity.
Absolutely.
And that first month where you really ramped it up is $1,000.
$1,000. 9 days from that, or I would say 4 or 5 months after that, was I started making $5,000 a month.
What'd that feel like?
Oh, my God.
How long did it take you before your mom wasn't working? Or did you just say, Mom, don't do it?
At $5,000 a month.
At 5,000.
Yeah, at 5,000.
So she was holding the sign out in the street.
For 4 or 5 months in cold Canada.
For 4 or 5 months in cold Canada.
And every time I saw her leave the house, it was just like a kick. Just like a get to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did.
Yeah.
So once you got to 5,000, that's enough to kind of,
I quit my job though I was making $1,000 a month. As soon as I ranked up, like maybe
as soon
a
as you
month
saw
after,
that you could do this,
I'm like, I think I need to like, I felt like my job was holding me back at this point.
Yeah.
Because it was long hours. And I'm like, I don't know if I can live off $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
But I had some money saved up in the bank from my job, and some money I'm like talking maybe $7,000 or something. Like barely. I did the calculations that if I don't make any money from network marketing for the next 3 months, would I just be able to pay the house, pay the food, just keep?
So you had a little runway.
Just right in the basics.
You know, and I'm going to say this, and it's going to probably be controversial, but I think it's a bit of a myth that a person can be very part-time and build a big income. I think you can have a hobby like level and make a few bucks and meet some interesting people and see some cool things and have value from the products. But if you want to have something real
Full time,
you kind of have to go all in.
Yeah.
In order to be able to build something big. I mean, so those that say, oh, I'm just going to be part-time for the next 5 years. Well, I can predict what your income is going to be for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
At some point,
crazy.
something's got to give,
For sure.
you know, where this becomes a priority.
Yeah.
Now, I do know some people, a few that are like doctors, and they also have a network marketing business.
Yeah, but I mean,
stuff like that.
doctors.
You know, they have a practice or whatever.
Yeah.
And or a chiropractor also has a network marketing business. But even some of the most successful network marketers that were chiropractors, at some point, they sold their practice or they had somebody else step in, cover it, and then they went after it.
I agree.
And that's just that's what happened to me. I had 1 month where I had good success, no skill, be in the right place at the right time, and I just walked away from every like normal income producing thing. And 60 days after that, my business fell apart because I didn't have any skill at all. And then now it's like, well, what am I going to do? There was no place to go. So I had to like, you know, bear down and
I have a story for
we'll get to that.
I lost it all.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So this starts to take off for you. You start to build a team. You're still mostly Canada, Toronto market.
Yeah. Just Toronto.
Was it a bunch of young kids because you were young? Was it like this young culture? Everybody was doing the Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Were they doing that?
Yeah.
It was like all the hyper aggro stuff.
Yeah. And I figured what my way of recruiting is. I found my happy place.
What was that?
The gym.
Really?
I knew how to connect with people at the gym at a interesting way.
Well, what was it?
Like, I'll give you an example. And this is the one time I was at the gym, and you know, at this point, you know, working at a gym, you're competing with everybody. You want to have the best body, you want to have the best shape. I just want to compete with everybody, and I'm competing with guys that are 10 times my size. But in my head,
doesn't matter.
I'm gonna figure this out. So I'm lifting this weight, and I'm giving the guy a guy that's working, just random guy. I'm like, hey brother, do you mind just taking a small video for me? He's like, yeah, of course, man. He takes this video. And I'm just pushing weights. And the guy's like, wow, man, good job. Man, thank you. And I strike the convo saying, I'm new in the area, are you? And I talked to him for a couple of minutes, took his name, took his Instagram, and I walked away. And then eventually by promoting on social media, the guy was like, well, this kid looks like he's doing something for him. I would like to be with him. And I've done this so many times. One of these people that I've done this same way with was pretty much the reason why I went 6 figures. Yeah. So I found like a very easy rhythm to sign up people at the gym because I felt like I was home. You know, I was like,
you had your natural environment and you came up with a way to be able to prospect.
Yeah. Some like easy prospecting.
Really?
And I wasn't pitching. I wasn't like being too pushy. I took their Instagrams, walked away. I didn't even take phone numbers because I felt like that was a little bit too personal. Let me take the Instagram, walk away, message them, hey, after the my session, nice to meet you. Let's stay in contact. Let's hit a gym workout together. I don't know. I wasn't gonna work out with them, but just let me be friendly and message them so the algorithm shows my stories first because they've created a new friend. And a lot of signups at that point were through that way.
Make contact, get their Insta. Friend them up,
and
then they just start seeing your posts.
Seeing my posts, seeing my social media. Another happy place for me was soccer. You know, I grew up loving soccer. I played I played semi-pro in Canada my first year, and then I tore my ACL meniscus, and that was the end of it.
Who's your hero in soccer?
That's a hard question, Eric.
I mean,
there's so five. Many. Of course, Ronaldo, Messi. There's a lot of big Saudi, I guess, Arab players that I like. Like Hakimi is like this young guy.
I met the goalkeeper for Egypt. What did they call him? The Great Dam or whatever it was, something like that. Yeah. Hassad was his name, I think.
No, I don't know. My memory is.
But the World Cup guy.
I know exactly what you're talking about. He was like the oldest guy to play, to be a keeper in the world, something like that.
Yeah.
He was crazy guy. Yeah.
Him and Ronaldinho, met him
here.
No, in Dubai.
Oh, Dubai, yeah.
Yeah, Neymar I met last summer.
That's an interesting character.
An interesting character.
Yeah,
crazy.
These guys are different levels. They play for sure.
Yeah,
different levels.
So did you watch Ted Lasso?
The
TV series?
No,
you have to watch it.
Really?
Yeah,
about soccer?
On Apple TV. It's loosely about soccer, but it's a very interesting network marketing type series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for real.
Interesting.
It's good. It's good. All right, so you found recruiting through the gym. You found recruiting through soccer, and the lesson there is
find your place.
Find your place, and then find a way to connect. And
connect, walk away. Connect, walk away. Connect, walk away.
Connect, walk away.
Yeah.
But the connection itself, you're kind of not walking away because now you're kind of tethered. To that person. They're going to keep seeing your stuff.
Keep talking to them.
So it's kind of a hybrid form of attraction marketing.
Pretty much. Anything that they post. Like, I've always had a way where, like, let's just say they're posting something that's funny. So a lot of people just skip it. I would laugh. And it just created a friendship. And I believe through these friendships, people just got started with me.
You know, it's funny. You're right. Because even with my social media following, I see, who liked, who followed, who's consistently at the top.
Doing.
Who's consistently
you notice
interacting.
Them, right?
Oh yeah. You notice the names. I see you. I see you. Out there. It's kind of interesting how that happens. All right. So you do this. That's kind of your secret superpower. Did you teach your people to do the same thing?
Yeah, but my team
or you just kind of did it.
Yeah, I kind of did it.
See, the good news of building a young team.
Yeah.
They have a lot of energy.
Yeah,
but they're also very easily distracted.
So easily distracted.
It's like, look, a butterfly. Boom, they're gone for a week. Right? So you've got this young team that you're trying to get them to focus.
Yeah, but
how was that?
It was definitely tough. But I mean, like, it was all university students. So we, like, exam seasons, we had 0 volume. And then, summertime, we go back, and then it was interesting to be able to lead. And it was my first time really leading anything. I've never really led a team or somebody calling me a leader or their leader.
Yeah. How did that feel?
It was interesting feeling.
Good feeling, bad feeling, weird feeling?
I felt like I was responsible for people.
Yeah.
And it made me work harder.
How many, by this time, how many more of your family members are in
Nobody.
Canada?
Oh, in Canada, it's still same. It's like my dad hasn't come. My dad just stayed back home and
still there.
Yeah, my siblings just they're around. We're getting their school.
Are they still together or no?
Yeah.
Okay, they're still
together. He was just closing everything out there.
I mean, is he still there now?
No.
Where is he now?
Canada.
Okay, got it. So you're building in Toronto. Did you, and was your company operating in more than Canada? Where?
All over
the world.
Yeah.
So was this service company or product company? Service company. So, and the reason why I asked that question is there is a trend currently of technology-based companies, education-based companies. People are innovating and they're trying different things. And there's winners and losers. There's companies that are trying some things and they're not working. And there's companies trying things that are working.
For sure.
The not having to ship product and being able to have, being able to operate more virtually around the world.
Lower cost,
has some advantages. Physical products also have some advantages. So I think the future is going to be a blend.
Both, I agree.
Of physical and digital products is where I think things are going to go long term.
Yeah.
But when did your business step outside of Canada?
Well, in the beginning, it never did. My upline was trained by old companies, right? He was in a previous company. He was in two previous companies. One of them is a very old school company.
What is it?
So it was ACN, his first company.
Okay.
Second company was Vima. So it was like ACN and then Vima, you know? And he kind of took the best of both worlds and combined them in the system that I was used to. So he was doing these home events, and he was like, well, the only way you can make money here is home events. We've never believed in online calls. We've never believed in closing online. I have to meet somebody for me to sign them up. So hence why my team never grew outside. It was just, I guess it was because...
Big face-to-face culture.
Yeah, like huge. We met up with the team every day.
Face-to-face culture, but yet you were still prospecting using social.
Yeah.
Because that's where
of course
your
we bring
was.
people from social, and then for me to like pitch them or talk to them, we've never had like jump on a Zoom or jump on this. And
that was,
it was just
before that. Isn't that funny that
it's crazy?
It wasn't that long ago.
And that's my point. It wasn't that long ago, and I've had this big disbelief that I could never sign up somebody on Zoom. Like, what do you mean sign up people on Zoom? Like because I got started with somebody, so they have to get started with me, and it has to be physical.
How you get enrolled does a lot to ingrain in you
it does.
What you're going to do with the next person.
Yeah.
Right. So, all right. So this is happening. It stays local.
Yeah.
When does it finally break out of local?
Well, 4 or 5 months. I told you I hit $5,000 a month. 3 months after that, I hit 6 figures. So I'm making like $12,000 a month. 10 to 12. And I'm like right now on top of the world. Like
10 to 12,000 a month.
Yeah,
you're balling.
I have never seen this much money in my entire life. I'm rocking and rolling. The team is growing. And 10 months after that, a lot of changes in the company happen. Major changes.
Like, so what kind of change? Product changes, comp plan changes?
Product, comp plan, name, leadership, systems, running the company. I'm talking like...
So basically a new owner came in?
In a way, yeah.
All right. So a change in corporate leadership.
Changed everything.
And they changed everything overnight.
We used to have one package that was such a small package, like a $250.
Yeah.
And then $250 a month to just keep it on.
Yep.
And then they just like start being memberships at $600 and $1,500. And I'm like, we were struggling selling to $250. Do you think I can sell $1,500? That's outrageous. So the company had a big shake. They were always late on payments and stuff. They just had a bad.
And the lesson here, and again, I want the viewers and the listeners of this, the Excellence Project, is to look for clues, look for themes, look for lessons. Yeah. And even if you're taking mental notes, how many lessons are there in the story the conversation we've had so far? And there's going to be many more.
Yeah.
Collect these ideas, learn from somebody else's experience so you don't have to have as much pain in your own experience. Typically, you still got to kind of go through it anyway, but at least you go, oh, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So Rakan had this problem.
I mean, that's how I learned.
Yeah, everything kind of blew up, and change happened inside the company. So I talked yesterday with a $1 million earner. Yeah. And she was like, there's so much change happening. It's just, everybody's just so frustrated. I said, well, you got to decide how you're going to approach this.
I agree.
Because you're either a victim or this is an opportunity.
I'm going to talk about the opportunity because that changed.
Please do. Yeah. So everything changes.
So
the earth changes. The earth gets unstable under your feet.
Unstable. I'm talking earthquakes 10.0. I'm talking people falling. I'm talking like stuff is falling off. And I can tell you something. The whole time, because I felt like I was stuck at $10,000. I was at $10,000 for like straight 9 months. It's the same income. It's not increasing, not going up, not going down. And just so the people understand, the whole period before, like the whole 2 years before, the only thing that kept me going through the hard times is the story I was listening to on your podcast, right? Where you were interviewing these big earners, and I remember I listened to a story. To a podcast you did, or a video, I guess, you did with Alex Morden. And I'm like, wow. Like at that point, he was like young as 20, 24, 25 years old. He had 15,000 people. I had like less than 100, 6 figures. I think I had like 300 plus people, but 300, 15,000. And then I was listening to Calvin Becerra and Danny and Stefani. And all these stories, they kept shaping my decision making. So when that was happening, I've heard so many stories about all these leaders having shakes in their companies, what they have done. And everybody saw this as a bad plan. Almost 80% of the actually 90% of the company left the company. The group chat with the company, all the 6-figure earners, I think there was over 200 people in that chat. We ended up maybe with 25 people, 30 people, including Corp.
So in those situations, and I'll just give you a lesson, there's choices to be made in these situations. Sometimes the changes are, a challenge of the company's integrity or honesty or character. And you've got to really make a decision as, is there a future?
Yeah.
Are they being honest? Whatever, those types of things. But if they are, and you can be part of the solution, and you can say, okay, I'm going to use this opportunity to plant my flag and decide what I'm going to do in this situation.
Yeah.
There's that choice too.
It's true.
So some people have a real scarcity thing, and all they need to hear is my top leader's going to this other company. And they haven't even looked at it. Yeah. They haven't done their due diligence. They're like, I better go there first so I can be still in their upline.
And that was,
and I'll be able to capture the stuff that happens within that organization. I have a lot to say about this. Or I'll do both.
Yeah.
I'll do both for a while. I'll be quiet over here, but I'll still be public over here, and I'll hedge my bets.
Yeah.
So, what did you learn through this experience? You say you have a lot to say about it.
I just, first of all, I had to see what was wrong. Like, why did this big check happen, right? I guess the new guy that took over, me and you know him. And I jump on a call. Mind you, Eric, like I was making 10 grand a month. Now I'm making like 200 a week. Like I'm talking almost 90% of my team left. So what is
your mom doing now?
Dude, this is she's at home. Like
you got a little savings?
They don't know. I have some not crazy.
Enough to
probably
survive.
Enough to survive for 90 days. Enough to survive for a very short period. Yeah.
Here we are in the entrepreneurial roller coaster
again. Okay. And I wouldn't tell her. She would freak out. So I'm like, you know what? I have headache from. I just have internal headache. So I'd rather not just get other headache from people outside. But I can tell you this. I bought, as soon as I hit 6 figures, I bought a Maserati. It's my first car. I felt like I was like,
it's never going to go down. The income's never going to go down. This is the minimum.
This is just for a couple months. I'm going to buy a Ferrari after it. Like, just wait for it. Type of thing,
Bugatti soon.
Like, it was just
top G.
And after 9 months of making 10 grand a month, and the problem is because you think it will last forever, you spend every dollar of it. Like I kid you not, Eric, maybe after 9 months, I probably saved like a good $5,000 to $10,000 max. So in October, they start having these issues. By December, team gone. In the same time, in June, you came up with a video, and I will never forget this day. It was a video talking about you just finished the leadership summit or leadership something, and you were promoting GoPro. And you said if you buy 10 tickets, it was somewhere in the round of, it was $5,000 to $10,000. I don't exactly remember the numbers. So I bought it, and there was a big purchase. I've never really purchased something online for, 10 G's. But I'm like, I'm a 6-figure earner. I'll make it next month, no problem. And what happens is I told my team, I'm like, whoever is going to be at this rank by December, I'm going to take them to GoPro, because it's been my dream to go to GoPro, right? The first year, I didn't know about GoPro. The second year, I didn't really have the money, so I said like, so now it's like the third year I'm seeing GoPro, and I'm seeing and I've taken all the courses, and I've gone through your whole library. I need to go to this GoPro thing. Like this is, I want to go, and I want to be involved, and. Everybody that I told, if you hit this rank by this time, I'm going to take it to GoPro, they all left.
When was this?
This was October 2019.
2019, so 4 years ago.
Yes, correct.
Okay, so
yeah,
it just shows what can happen.
Yeah.
So 4 years ago, you've kind of been full-time for a year and a half.
Almost, yeah, correct.
All right.
Yeah.
And And you have this plan.
I like
so you buy a bunch of tickets. Like, okay, I'm gonna bring this group. I'm gonna use this as a promotion.
the promotion.
They all disappear.
Yeah, and they all disappear. I'll never forget. I think I called your office. I think you guys had a phone number or something at that point. And I called them. Like, can I get a refund? And the guy on the phone was like, "The best thing I can do is switch your ticket to a super VIP ticket." And I'm like, "Super VIP it is." And this was I came to December. I came to GoPro 2019, and this is when Grant Cardone was on
MGM.
MGM, yeah,
MGM
Grant
Garden
Cardone,
Arena here in Las Vegas,
and it was ET as well. And this is my first time even
Magic
seeing
Johnson, John Maxwell.
I don't know about
Les Brown, I think at the end too.
2019, maybe, possibly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead.
And I'm just now meeting all these leaders, these big people that I was listening to. Calvin was there, Jesse Lee. I'm like, I want to take pictures with these people. And, you know, I'm sitting there. I'm telling my team, here I am at GoPro. I'm selling them the dream, and I'm living a complete nightmare. Like I don't know. Because I'm spending a lot of money just for being here in Vegas and coming here, but I'm so inspired, and I'm messaging my leaders, my uplines, and I'm just going crazy in the chats. I'm like, we need to do this, and we need to do this, and we're doing this wrong, and we're doing this wrong, and why are we not doing this online thing? And I'm just like, you know, every time somebody says something in on stage, and I go in the chat and I keep at it, and I left with a big, you know, so much knowledge from that GoPro. And
again, it's interesting how things kind of circle around. At the beginning, you got around this big shot sponsor person, and got to Vegas and got to see a little vision.
Little vision.
And then you get to again get around
GoPro,
this group,
and I'm like,
want to be known inside of this group.
Now I need 7 figs now. 6 figures. I can't even look at 6 figures no more.
Right. Okay, so you leave there, leaving Las Vegas, you head back.
I haven't left yet.
Okay.
So I'm coming this because I got the super VIP ticket, so it gets you to come to the Worre House. I'm like, ooh, let's do this. So I come to the Worre House, and I'm pretty sure you don't remember this, but you know, so there was 2 Arab guys that were here as well.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, and it was my first time seeing them, and you know, I'm saying hello, what's up. And there was no Arab guys.
Egyptian guys, right?
Yeah, Egyptian guys.
Yeah, got it.
So we're speaking Arabic. You know, they're introducing me to everybody. Like, look at this guy, look at this guy, look at this guy. And they're taking me as like a little brother. You know, like this kid is whatever. Now, I'm not telling nobody, of course, that I lost my team. Like, I'm like this tough guy. Like, Arr. And, you know, everybody's asking how much money you make. Oh, I'm making like 10, 15, 10, 15. Kept saying 10, 15. And I was making, $10 to $15 maybe. Not $10 to $15,000. And I just want to like, I wanted to get into groups, so I kept going up to leaders and taking pictures of them and asking them questions. And I guess that's when I connected with Jesse Lee. I connected with Danian, with the Islam brother. There's so many leaders that I connected with at that point. And one of the Arab guys, so he's like, so you're Arab, you're building in the Arab world. I'm like, the Arab world does network marketing? Like, that's odd. All the Arabs in Canada, they don't even want to be associated with this. And he was like, if you think North America is good at network marketing, you're delusional. And he starts showing me events that was happening in the Middle East. And I saw my future. I saw one video and I said, I will make sure I'm one of the top Arab network marketers in the world. And this is when I go up to you and I'm like, I want to do this. He's like, why don't you? And I kind of asked you, do you think I should do my own language? He's like, why not? And you said, why not? And that's when I took it as a challenge. And that was my first year reaching out to the Middle East, starting content in Arabic, relearning how to do network marketing. No uplines in Arabic, so I had to like YouTube. And there's like these old videos by this old guy that was like, he was trying to be Eric Worre, I guess. He was something. And when the audio is so far from the camera, it was just. But I'm trying to feel their language of how they say the word recruiting and how they say the word downline and upline and enrolling and building the bit. Like, I want to see the terminologies in Arabic. So I watched enough videos to understand what's going on. I had 2 Middle Easterns guy on my team. There's a guy and a girl, and I go up and I go back.
What countries?
Well, they were still in Canada.
No,
right?
I know, but what countries were they from?
They were from Palestine as well.
Okay, got it.
and one of them used to live in Saudi. One of my old friends, his name is Ahmed, and I go up to them and I'm like, listen, I have an idea. And they saw something in my eyes, and I'm like, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna talk to the Arabs, and we're gonna be the first team, and we're gonna be the biggest. I don't know what I'm doing. I am just saying stuff that I hope it happens.
You're excited, yeah.
I'm really excited, right? I go back to.
I remember meeting you back then.
Yeah, a little hyper.
No, I mean, I could tell that you had a spark
Yeah.
for sure. I didn't know for real what you were going to do.
Yeah.
But I think maybe a year later, you told me that at the time, you're.
Oh yeah, I told you. I confessed.
You kind of said,
Like,
you know,
I was
hey,
confessing my
everything
sins.
was falling apart. You know, you didn't know, but I didn't have anything at the time.
Yeah.
And then you ended up joining the mastermind, and
A year after,
and it
that's
still,
what took me
still
7
took me a
figures.
while to learn how to your name and remember you and all that. I remember you said one of my goals is you're going to remember my name at one of these times. One of these times, I'm like, oh shit, you know, I probably should. Sorry, bro. So anyway,
Yeah.
so you get inspired.
I get inspired,
and
man.
again, you go to GoPro, you see one vision, and then you see kind of quote unquote your people.
Yeah.
Your people, and you look and you see an example of what's possible for your people.
Yeah.
And some people
But
see
I was a younger version.
Yeah.
Better version. I'm
like I'm gonna go.
I can
I'm gonna go
I can
crush
beat.
this.
I can do this at a very high level.
Yeah. So so tell me what happened. How does that all work out?
It took a couple months to get some people, get the system.
Because you're at rock bottom. At this point.
Rock bottom.
Okay, you go home. You're rock bottom.
It took 90 days.
But how much did the vision help you go from rock bottom to growth again?
It was everything. You had nothing to hang on but the video. You can't hang on in your checks. You can't look. I didn't even open my back office. I can't open my back office. I get depressed every time I see my check.
Yeah.
So I wanted, I have 90 days and I can't look left. I can't look right. I'm just not doing. I need to build this team. So I gather my North American leaders. And I'm like, listen, we have 90 days. We're gonna rebuild this. We're gonna do this at a high level here. And fun. I was maybe a little bit too extreme at that point in my life, but
is that possible?
well, I put everybody in the house and I said nobody's leaving until we get back the team.
Is that
back.
possible?
I mean,
To be too extreme?
I don't think that was.
You think about all these origin stories, and you look at when they did the movie, The Social Network, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
They're all in a house.
Yeah, I agree.
They're all programming.
Yeah.
They're all doing the stuff. You know what? I don't know. I don't know if that's extreme.
Yeah. So first 90
Like
days.
if you're going to do it again, and you didn't want to do that, I think you get a lower result.
Yeah, I agree.
If you're like too,
I
cool
agree.
for
Yeah,
it, or
too cool
whatever.
for it. So I gather the 5-6 people that were
Everybody
left.
moves into a house. Basically.
Yeah, everybody moved into this house.
Are they living there?
Living there.
Okay.
And some of them had to go home and come back the next morning. We had like a shift. Like they had a job. In 90 days, we
Paper
got
up on the walls.
and I'm talking like goals. We have 7:20 to 7:30. Do this. 8 p.m. We're doing this, and it was just all day, every day. I even felt at one point like the leaders were just exhausted. But I'm not taking no for an answer. I'm excited. You guys should be excited.
Yeah.
And slowly the team, the new energy of the team. I'm talking the new people that I start gutting in.
Replace that old energy.
And it actually didn't replace it. It moved the leaders to do more because they were seeing a new volume come in. And like my sister came in, and my sister signed up after that whole thing happened, right? After I came back from GoPro, I'm like, just
sign up, let's go.
Just sign up, let's go. And she's just an excited, she's a hyper person. She's just excited. So she didn't understand anything, but with her excitement, she could brought up people. I was sitting down with them. I explained, and they signed up. So she started having success stories. My sister, we had a bonus in the company, right? If you sell X amount, you get an X amount bonus, and that bonus is $10,000. And I could not believe it. Like I helped her sign up these people. I think she signed up like 6-7 people on the biggest package that we have. She made 10 grand, and my whole team was like, "No way, $10,000!" And mind you, I was even like still at like $1,000, $2,000 range. I can't tell
a week or a month.
That was 10,000. At this point, it was still like didn't get the team back.
Yeah.
Like as soon as they came back from GoPro, it was January, February ish. My income is back to $2,000 to $3,000 a month, and she makes
gets a
10. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And
Little sister.
and little sister. I can't tell her she's making more money than me, but but she takes it and she shows it to all these old leaders that I have, and they all get like activated. Like activated. One new blood activates my whole team. And this new blood is my sister. And
I just want to pause that because the lesson here
that's a good lesson.
Is all you need is one story.
One person, one story.
And it starts with you.
Yeah.
You make the decision, you attract somebody, and that person shows what's possible to everybody with all of their different limiting beliefs. It just destroys their limiting beliefs. They don't have any excuses anymore. And they go, oh, I guess it's possible. Time to go.
Yeah.
You know? So they re-engage. This whole group re-engages because of your sister.
Everybody just is on fire now. We start, reaching out to the Middle East. Mind you, the company at that point was very small. A lot of people left. I got a call from one of the owner. And he was like, listen, I know you're struggling. I know you're not making what you used to make, but you got to trust me. You stick around with me, I will make you a millionaire. And I don't know what's in my heart. I feel like, Eric, in life, you have these couple moments that you truly believe somebody. That's one of these moments that I just fully with my heart believed him. And, we went to work. 6 months in. We started building a small Middle Eastern team. And 6 months after that, we almost signed up 10,000 people.
10,000 people 10, over the course of the next 12 months.
Total 12 months.
Yeah, and before we gloss over this,
again,
collecting lessons. What does it take for excellence?
But we were crazy.
I understand.
Yeah.
But in addition, the leader of the company shared his belief in you.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that matters.
Yeah.
And anytime you have the ability to give another person the gift of your belief in them,
do it.
Anytime you can just share that. You don't know what they're going through. They might be acting confident. I got this, whatever.
It's crazy.
I don't need recognition. I'm fine. All of this stuff.
That's me.
Right? I'm good.
But you're struggling.
But then still, you say those words. And when you say that stuff, even if a person just acts cool, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, thumbs up, whatever. But they leave that conversation at different.
Yeah, I agree.
And they're like,
And I feel like that's how a lot of my international teams came in from Latin America and I'm not talking only the Arab world.
So anyway, things explode.
In a way I've never seen before.
What countries?
All over the Middle East. I'm talking Egypt. I'm talking Jordan, Palestine, Saudi, Qatar, Kuwait, Dubai, UAE. I'm talking majority
Egypt
of the aircraft. Egypt is when we had a big team join us at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I was the hot shot in the Middle East.
You're the hot shot.
I felt like I was,
going back home from this westernized guy. Look at this quasi American.
It's true.
Coming back into the Middle East with these capitalist ideas. Did you get resistance?
Oh my God.
You got a lot of acceptance.
Network marketing is so different there. The way, I guess, the old network marketing. The new version of network marketing is fine because it's a lot of social media stuff. But the old version, these guys were trained under like QNet. They were trained under like, you gotta go sign up all your family type of thing. Like that's how they're trained.
Aggressive.
Very aggressive.
But I've always been curious about this, and I've never really asked, is there a cultural thing around the capitalist Western idea, network marketing versus Middle Eastern core values? And was there a difficulty in finding that blend that was going to be acceptable, that they could own for themselves versus feeling like they're selling out to some Western philosophy?
It took me some time for sure to get the philosophy like stamped. Now I don't think they had this negative ideas because the majority of the time it was network marketing was American companies going to the Middle East.
Yeah,
it's really rarely like Middle Eastern companies, right? This is before the Dubai hype, and people liked who I am. Right. It was a guy that, my Arabic was good, but not that good. Like you can tell I haven't been in that country for some time.
But you're still kind of one of them. It's still part of
I'm still
it's still
I'm
the
still
tribe.
like I'm still in the tribe.
You're like the tribal member who had gone over the
Learned
ocean,
everything, came back.
and somehow sailed back on a boat and said, "Look, I have treats. I have
gifts.
Yeah, I have
for everybody.
scrolls. I have stuff,
lessons.
Yeah,
and this is when because I guess in the Middle Eastern culture of network marketing, they don't really promote anybody outside of their company, which is weird to me, right? And I was like the guy like, oh no, y'all should listen to these guys. Y'all should listen to Eric. And I used to take your videos, translate it, and give it to the team, like in Arabic subtitles, and they used to love it. So I guess we've had acceptance. Now for that 10,000 people to happen, I had to fly out there. It was my first time ever having like an international team. This is before the 10,000. We maybe have like, because the 10,000 were very like in each country.
Sure.
Right. So I guess I started going to all the countries back to back. I stayed in the Middle East for almost 4 months.
I remember that.
For that, I was like, I went for time.
Yeah.
But for that 10,000 to get intact, I had to go there and I had to kind of show them the ropes and show them kind of how to work. And a lot of them were like early stages in their careers. And well, first of all, I loved it.
Yeah.
I felt liberated a little bit. And this was COVID days.
Sure. In the middle of COVID.
Early COVID. Because Canada was shutting down bad.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not playing this game.
So you got there before the borders got shut down?
Right before the borders got shut down, yeah. And I stayed there.
And was it what was happening in COVID?
Middle East, they
didn't care. Was it like Dubai?
They didn't. No,
everybody
not
went
even
to,
close.
No, everybody went to Dubai because Dubai didn't care.
Dubai was a little bit open, but I'm talking Jordan and like all these countries were just open.
No masks,
like
no
some
whatever.
masks,
Yeah.
like but they weren't like serious. Like it wasn't like Canada. You get fined and like you get like it was like they were running after
you in a
us.
hotel.
Yeah, the locking in the hotel was crazy.
Yeah.
But
so you go there for 4 months.
I go there.
Young man, you're what, 23 at the time or something? 24?
Maybe at 24.
Yeah, 24-year-old guy. Jet setting around, seeing all the Middle East,
country to country.
Kind of.
First time training in Arabic.
Yeah, what was that like?
The website was not even translated yet. I had to pay my own guy to translate the website, and then I had to like fix word for word. It was. And I had to practice so much. Training in Arabic is so much different than training in English.
Really?
And so much different.
Yeah.
And
I speak I ask that as a lazy American who only speaks English. I'm so grateful that the business language of the world is English. Thank God.
Yeah. But definitely training in Arabic is very different than the philosophies, how they speak. And then they bring a lot of religion into training.
Sure.
And I had to kind of learn that part,
right?
And
you don't want to misspeak that.
And with them, I don't know if this is a bad thing or not, but I'll share it regardless. I felt like with these type of countries, I'm not talking only Middle East. I'm talking I've noticed this in Europe. I've noticed this in Latin America. You'd have to have a meeting after the meeting. Like I from what I've seen in North America, and I feel like it's changing. From what I've seen though, like we'd have an event, we'd put a target and they'd go. Middle Eastern culture, Latin culture, I felt like after you set a target, you got to sit down with them and set a target again. Mm-hmm. And I remember that with that trip, every person that I met, I took a white paper, I wrote down what I need them to do in 9 days, and I gave it back. 9 days, gave it back. And I gave like maybe 100 people papers, hoping that at least maybe 10 of them can be like brand new 6-figure earners. And that was we're like 2021 now, and we just blew up in 2021. I guess the team started, I think overall my organization, we had 80,000 people join. Multiple, like we've had, I became a millionaire that year.
So you got to $1 million, over 90,000 a month. What was your top month that year?
110.
And the year before?
My top month of 2020, maybe like 50 was my top month.
50. The year before?
Oh my God, like 5,000.
5,000.
This is
So
2019.
550, 100.
Yeah.
150.
100, yeah. Oh, no, not 150, 100. 100 something. Yeah.
550, 100.
Yeah, crazy.
You can't do that in a corporate job.
Never.
Right. So,
but mind you, actually, can you imagine somebody that's never had money like this go to a millionaire status right away?
yeah.
It was like, this is not real.
Were you like baller top G guy? You know, did your ego get a little wild for a minute?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes. But I
So
was
like, you're Superman, you know, all that stuff.
invincible. But I was in the Middle East. I was building, and that inspired a lot of my other teams, non-Arab, to build in their countries.
Sure.
And that's where we had a Latin American team, Europe team. Today, we're talking my two top teams would be Europe and the Middle East. And Europe is like, wow, it's crazy.
Yeah, you become known, all that stuff. Yeah, and it can be a little bit seductive, this whole
You get to your
young,
head.
good-looking guy,
Yes,
everybody's looking at you. You're the man.
You tend to make a lot of mistakes in that path.
Yeah, so talk to me about lessons learned during that season, as honest as you can, as honest as you're comfortable.
I mean, one of the lessons is that you work a little bit less when you're a millionaire. And I don't know why. I guess I thought this would last forever. Like I'd always have the same team, always have the same income, always have everything. And I had to kind of wake up that reality. And
About the reality of having to rebuild from time to time.
Yeah, from time to time you got to rebuild, and you have to do things, and you have to. And if you take a nap, just look at your leaders. They are gonna start taking naps, and if they take naps now, the whole team's taking naps, and these are naps you don't want. Yeah, it doesn't take long to you know switch it on back. I learned to.
What about the ego side of things?
That was kind of my next point.
Yeah,
I wanted to be in control of everything. Everything. And I didn't allow my leaders to grow at that point. I didn't allow my leaders to spread their wings, so called. And
so someone probably started resenting that.
Yeah. And I had to learn the hard way, for sure.
Yeah. So the hard way was
them a good person leaving your team,
either leaving or throwing a tantrum or getting mad.
Yeah.
Or putting you on blast.
The whole thing. All of the
finding
above.
your fault and telling the world.
And it's probably that was like my biggest thing is they found the fault that I have and they just like they multiplied it by 10.
Make it a big thing.
And make it a huge thing. And you know, I feel like my biggest mistakes was I didn't allow people to just spread their wings. I didn't allow people to fail. That was a big thing for me. I was too cautious. And because I was too
cautious. Parents can learn lessons from this. When you have your kids, you can learn lessons from this.
My kid is going to F up on his own for sure.
We'll see.
Enjoy kid. I mean, I can't talk smack right now. But women, big mistakes. You should get your head. You're a top guy. You know, you just want to.
You're on stage.
You're on stage. You're edified. You're people walking around. And in the Middle East, you're like glorified. Like it's 10 times what's happening here. Like people walk beside you, you have security guards, like nobody can talk to you. And I've never liked that culture, but it's like the culture that I was like pushed in. I was always the guy that was stopped and talked to a nobody. Yeah. Because I was a nobody at one point.
Sure, of course.
Right. I don't know how to say no to people when like taking pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I remember my first event that I went to, there's this guy that I really want to take a picture with. Really wanted. Like I'm talking this guy I was watching on social media. Like this is the guy. Oh, one guy I want to take a picture with. There's a whole lineup for people to. He's the top leader, so there's a whole lineup of people. Once I got to the first of the line, like I'm next. Like he just left. And I like resented this guy. I still resent this guy sometimes. So to me, sorry?
Isn't it funny?
Yeah.
You know, I have a story with that. I was on stage giving out awards. This is a long time ago.
Yeah.
And if you're ever in a situation where you're doing that and there's a bunch of people coming across, getting their trophy, getting their award, you're shaking their hand and you kind of, you know, end up saying kind of the same stuff, right? You know, hey, congratulations, well done, I'm proud of you, whatever. But just over. So, you know, stop, take a photo, you know, and then they move on, right? So there was this guy who came up to me, and this was and he says, you probably, and he acted like you're going to remember, like, do you remember I came across stage during the recognition 3 years ago and you told me this and this and this. And those words changed my life.
Wow.
And now I was just saying the same stuff over and over and over.
It's true.
And he said, I took that photo and those words, and both the words and the photo are up on my wall in my office, in my house.
Yeah.
And I looked at it every day.
Wow.
And that was what got me through all these difficult times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, I'm never gonna, if somebody wants a photo,
don't take it for granted.
I'm never going to like look at that in a small way.
Yeah.
If they want a photo,
let's do a photo.
Let's do a photo.
Yeah, let's do a photo.
So I've sat in some lines 6-7 hours taking photos after events, whatever, because of each of those little stories.
I thought like, I've had like similar stories that happened,
Sure.
like, being a top leader in the Middle East and being the face of the company in the Middle East.
Yeah.
It's just people would just want to take pictures with you. And then you tend to say some stuff. I learned not to say the similar stuff. I tried as much as I can to be unique to each person, but in a fast way. I can't because it's tough to.
You still have your scripts.
Yeah, exactly. You gotta have a script, but I wanted to. But then I've my first 2021. I've had 50 people cross the $100,000 a year range, and I've had maybe 2 people. Yeah, 2 people crossed almost $1 million. They hit the rank, but they have to kind of sustain it for 12 months to make officially over $1 million. Mm-hmm. And it was just because some words I've said, a paper that I've given them, a picture, a voice note, call.
Sometimes it's people come up and take the notes that I would draw out, and they'd frame them, put them in their living room. I'm like, wow, I draw like stick figures, and like, no, that's what you had me sign it afterwards, all that kind of stuff. The reason why I commend you for talking about mistakes and young man, it's the same thing as like a 23-year-old football athlete. Mm-hmm. You're playing Premier Cup soccer, all of a sudden is being adored by everyone, and it's difficult not to lose your head. Or somebody becoming a young Hollywood actor or a young entertainer
with
of some
money
sort.
And
So the fact that you kind of talk about the fact women were a challenge, and it's not the women that were a challenge.
No,
it was you getting in your own way. What did you learn from that? Did you learn to like keep that separate from your business?
As a top leader, no matter if you're a female or a male,
right?
As much as you can separate.
Yeah.
It will come back to you at one point.
Yeah. Unless you're gonna marry them.
Yeah.
Be careful dating around inside your team.
I agree. Man, there's so many mistakes that I've done. Getting out of line with giving feedback, like too extreme feedback sometimes. As I said, not allowing your leaders to grow, not allowing your leaders to make mistakes.
Having to control everything, all that.
Yeah, just not giving assignments to people. Mm-hmm. Really like I understand when some leaders kind of just take a step back, but some leaders just really take a step back. Yeah. I'm talking like, hey, sorry guys, I've been disappeared for a month.
Right.
Like imagine
some people they got that thermostat in their head when they hit a certain number.
Yeah.
They feel like they've arrived, it's over.
Yeah.
And they don't even know why they've stopped working.
Yeah.
But their programming from a childhood kicked in.
Yeah.
And it said, now anything more than this, and it's kind of disgusting. Mm-hmm. If you go beyond this number, now you're being an asshole. You're being greedy. Yeah. You're being a jerk. You're being when is enough enough? Yeah. You can't appreciate anything. So all this programming kicks in, right?
For sure.
So going through all this process, the one thing and we got to know each other through the mastermind that we're in.
I think that. Well, I don't think I know. That was the reason I went to 7 figures.
Yeah, there's this group called Next Level Mastermind. This is
6-figure earners and
just for 6-figure earners and above, and it's probably average $800,000 or $900,000 a year in that group. And we get together and talk via Zoom every other week, and we get together twice a year in person, and just share ideas, best practices of what's going on around the world.
My team used to think I'm like the smartest guy on earth.
Yeah,
not knowing
you're collecting all the good ideas from everybody.
Yeah, it's like, wow, how did you come up with this?
I'm a huge.
You know what, guys? I just learned this.
I'm a huge believer in masterminds.
Yeah,
and even if it's people from other organizations, there's things you've learned.
You have to
mostly what you can learn from your
from our people outside of my company. Absolutely, I wouldn't want to have a mastermind with people in my company because we're all doing the same thing.
Right.
And you know, being at one of the you know, top 2 in my company.
Yeah. What's up with that, by the way?
I know.
Top 2. We're number 2. We're number 2.
It'll be fixed.
That's screwed up, bro.
We'll talk to Anthony.
All right. Yeah, catch him.
But
we have to get Anthony on the pod.
We should get Anthony on the pod.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
But you know, well, you know what's cool, Eric? I think my biggest lesson, just being so long in network marketing, is when you find who you are, you become unstoppable. Like, and I'm not talking like spiritual. I'm talking about your personality in network marketing. Like, I have a personality in network marketing; it'll never change. You know, I'm this guy. I'm this leader that just cracks jokes on stage. Like, that's my personality. I'm a guy. I would push things to the edge. Like, that's my personality.
But you weren't doing it at the beginning.
I wasn't being who I truly am.
Yeah, you found your and you got permission to do that eventually.
Exactly, because Anthony, like, let's say he's a very like systematic guy. I'm talking like same call for the past 17 years he's been doing. And this guy's 1 year older than me, type of thing, you know? He has like this 45-year-old soul, right? My upline has another way. So it's just, I took personality, I took the systems, I just, from everybody I listen to, even people I've never talked to.
And some fashion too.
And some fashion.
So explain the shoes.
It's a brand at this point.
Pull up your shoes so people can see.
Can they see?
No, just take it off. So he wears these furry slippers, and what's the brand of those? Gucci. Gucci furry slippers, and that became your thing somehow.
I don't know how. I don't know why. I guess I'm the first guy to pull these off, but not really, because I've seen other people with it before.
Yeah.
But I guess I just wore it.
So you wear it all the time now, pretty much.
Yeah, somewhat. I have like 4 or 5 of them. Different colors.
So some people collect sneakers and
I collect those.
And you collect furry slippers.
I'm like the best guy for Gucci. They love me.
Furry slippers. So a little bit about fashion.
Yeah.
You know, you take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you're kind of leading by example. I would also say the one other thing that I've noticed with you is by paying attention to what's going on inside of other organizations, being in the mastermind, everything else, you decided to kind of up your game on social.
Yeah.
So
hard.
When was that decision?
This is when I feel like I truly found who I should be on social media a year and a half ago.
Year and a half ago.
Like, imagine being in network marketing for so long.
So long. What do you?
I mean,
3.5 years.
But I majority
anybody
of the
that
time,
says something in their 20s, you cannot talk about how long you've been involved with something. Oh my gosh, I'm such a veteran. So anyway, year and a half ago.
You know what? Why I say that is because I guess I'm the oldest guy, but not oldest guy in age, but oldest guy standing long in my team. So I guess I'm programmed to think that I'm a veteran in network marketing.
Yeah, no, and in a sense you are. You've gone through some wars.
I've definitely gone through some wars. Yeah.
You know, you rebuilt your team. You proved yourself. You know, you went through the initiation.
Yeah.
Welcome. But I still say everything before you're 30 years old is practice.
Still practice.
Everything.
Well, I'm excited for 30, man.
Everything.
I'm really excited for 30.
Yeah. So that's 3 years out.
Yeah, 3 years out.
That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Anyway, I found myself.
Media.
Yeah, I found myself on social media. 80% of my people that was following me, they all spoke Arabic. I'm like, why am I still fighting with English? I did all English, and then I did this crazy Arabic transition where I stopped posting English at all, like completely just Arabic. I'm like, okay, well, let me just find the best of both worlds. Is that I'll post English content, translate it in Arabic, and I'll post Arabic content, and I'll mix and match. And because there's nobody in my uplines that had experience in speaking two languages, both my uplines spoke just English. So I kind of had to figure this out by myself. Just speaking this language. Am I speaking both? Am I mixing and matching? So it became a mixing and matching game where I'm speaking Arabic, I'm speaking, English. certain things here, certain things there. A lot of any content that I do in English will always be translated to Arabic.
So what was the decision? I understand you decided to serve the Arabic market as well as English.
Yeah.
But the decision as far as quantity and quality on social media.
Eric, I don't know any network marketer in the you ever read the book Blue Ocean Strategy? Mm-hmm. When I was reading that, first of all, there's no Eric Worre in the Middle East. There's no.
We've got a big following over there. It would be fun to do a tour sometime.
We're ready.
Stop in and do.
Ready.
Yeah, should we do it? Stop in every
East
major
country.
city throughout the Middle East. Wouldn't that be fun?
I'll have that ready, no problem. But
all right.
There's network marketing is growing at such a rapid pace in the Middle East, and it's great. The real network marketing. I'm not talking about. No, unfortunately, you have the bad companies and bad apples, and that's a part of it. But
it's the wild west a little bit in the Middle East, because
but it's getting
so new.
Yeah, it's exactly.
That there's people are going to come in and try and exploit.
I agree,
but they're going to get eliminated pretty quick.
It's getting to a point where it's somewhat stabilizing, right? It's becoming a real profession there. People take it as a real profession. When I meet somebody, they
look at it different now.
A lot of the people that I've met in network marketing, they don't associate themselves as a network marketer. They associate themselves as something with a product, right? Like let's just say they're selling health. I'm a health expert. Well, not really. You're a network marketer. You're not a health expert. I can't talk about somebody has a service. I'm this guy with this service. I am a network marketer. I introduce myself as that. I'm always going to talk about that. So that's when I identify, and I'm like, I had to up my game. Right, I've never posted stuff in Arabic, so I started. I hired an Arabic assistant, an Arabic content creator. Like, hey, how many contents can I put out? And it started as taking clips from my Zoom trainings, and then posted that. Saw a little bit of traction. I'm like, let me up my game. Let me shoot content only strictly for socials. I don't spend a lot of time on it. I shoot once a week, and that's it. Right, I shoot enough content for a couple YouTubes, and then from the YouTubes.
Do you do a podcast also?
I do have I just started my Arabic podcast, but I have a podcast in English.
Okay.
Yeah. I just started my Arabic podcast.
So are you going to take this podcast and translate it
into Arabic? Correct.
All right. When you do, send it back to me, and we'll post it up on YouTube and for the Arabic audience that's out there.
They'll love it.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
So social media has been kind of a new boom.
Absolutely.
And if you've taught other leaders in your team to do the same, I've been watching that. Yeah. Like your sister's like the social media queen.
Yeah.
Doing all her stuff.
Phenomenal.
She's like Beyonce or something, She's like the Arabic Beyonce. Oh, what did she call herself?
K
the Kardashian. The Kardashian. So I saw, did I see that you did the whole Mecca thing?
Yeah.
Last year?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was beautiful.
It's like that's like the big pilgrimage in your faith.
Yeah. What's cool about building, Eric, is that you don't only, like, what I love about network marketing is it's not that you just find yourself. You find your spirituality. You become closer to things. You understand. Mean? Like I've gone closer to my faith through network marketing. That makes sense. I started belonging a little bit more through network marketing to my faith. And I was in Saudi, and I'm like, because I have a team there. I'm like, I need to go. And not that I've been, when I was there, I went when I was younger, but this is my first time as an adult. An adult that has money, I guess. I'm going there and I felt like I restarted. It's pretty cool feeling.
Yeah, I saw some of the pictures.
Yeah, pretty cool.
You could tell and look on your face. It was,
and everybody's the cool thing is with that is everybody is equal, no matter how rich or poor you are. Everybody wears the same thing.
Yeah,
everybody says the same thing.
Yeah.
So it gives you like a humbling experience because I'm as a top network marketer used to VIP seatings. Nobody talked to him. Everybody, the leader is here. Right. And you go there and nobody knows who you are. I'm like, okay, I guess.
Yeah. One of the things I like about network marketing is it embraces lots of different cultures.
So much.
Lots of different spiritual beliefs.
My God.
But it not only, I really hate the word tolerance. It does.
Yeah.
It's like it's tolerant. It doesn't tolerate these other things. It embraces them.
It accepts. Yeah,
It embraces them. It encourages them.
Yeah.
It's not judgy. It's not
Never. I have in my team. So many faiths in my team, from Christianity to. I have I'm Palestinian. I have Jewish people on my team. People that live in Israel. Like it's no longer like, oh well, there's big political conflict between Israel and Palestine, and I understand that, but we're people.
Yeah.
Like these are governments fighting. Yeah. We're not fighting, right? And
that's a pretty special thing.
And
it's just the idea of having a positive environment to be able to understand each other, and communicate with each other,
and people will not like me for saying this, but I have never seen, it doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter what your religion, doesn't matter what's your background. I don't care what your background is.
Yeah.
If you're a person that you want to do business together, let's do business together, right? And this hopefully, and I'm never gonna hate on whatever their belief is. They can't hate on my belief. I guess everybody in the Quran it says lakum dinukum waliya din. You have your own religion, I have my own, right? And we got all be accepted together. And if you look at all the, I'm a very historical guy. If you look at all the 3 books, they all teach the same things. They all talk about the same things: Judaism, Christianity, Islam.
Yeah.
It's they all have the same core message.
Yeah.
It never changes.
Yeah.
So I don't know why. And I've seen a lot of division when it comes to team building with this religion and that religion. And I guess it comes to a point where some teams take it a little bit too extreme.
But again, everybody's got their lessons to learn. And some people,
I agree. And I think it works for some people.
So it's part of their mission.
It's part of their mission.
Yeah.
For me, I have all religions. I can't just jump on and read the Quran as soon as I start. Like it just doesn't make sense for my team, right? I can't piss off the Christians on my team, and I will not piss off. And I have, of course, other than Christianity and Judaism, I have other religions. But I'm not that kind. It's cool that I'm able to learn about these religions and sometimes bring examples from these religions, right? Like sometimes when I have a call and I see a lot of Christian people, and I'm bringing an example of what Jesus did, and here's an example, and you guys run with that. I've done with. I love learning about cultures and languages, and I just finished a European tour, and it's my first time like having a big tour in Europe. It was beautiful.
Really?
My God, it was beautiful. I went to Albania. That was my last stop, Albania. And I found out they're so similar to us, so similar to Middle Eastern culture.
Really?
They were taken over by the Ottomans for 500 years. So they have a lot of the Turkish systems going on, right? So it's like you go there, shawarmas everywhere, as people are dancing, similar music. I'm like, yeah.
How many countries you been to?
I don't know. Too many, for sure. Over 50. Over 40.
At 27.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of 27-year-olds don't have a stamp in their passport yet.
This is my 3rd passport.
Yeah. What does mom and dad think now?
Mom and dad think now I'm a hero. It's different. I've expanded. What I love about network marketing is that it's a vehicle that you can embrace everything that you want. I've opened so many other businesses outside of network marketing that allowed me to not even run them, allowed me to have other business partners that are running the whole place. I own one of the biggest Arabic restaurants in Toronto. Like it's really to my vibes. Like I'm talking shisha, I'm talking Arabic food. Like it's just what I would want if I want to go to some place. I've opened up studios, I've opened up banquet hall. I'm like, I'll tell you this. I found the problem that I have in my team and I solve it right away. I found out that we keep paying for these venues. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy a venue. And I bought a venue. So we're gonna start doing our events for free. Team, y'all enjoy it. But I bought so many things outside of network marketing that my parents are just looking at this like, when did this happen?
Yeah.
And my both mom and dad are I've retired them over time, but it's cool to never have the money conversation again.
Yeah.
And I'm not the kind to just give away money. My dad was a wealthy man when I was in Saudi, and he never just gave me money. Like, here's an allowance of $10 or something I wouldn't survive on. And he allowed me to figure out my own way to grow. So I'm doing the same thing with my siblings. is like, so my younger brother is, I remember when he got started, he didn't have money to come to the convention. I'm like, well, you got to figure this out. I don't know, do something for me. I'll pay you, and then take the money and come to the convention. And it's just, I love the ability to teach certain things, and it just allows you to grow. I've grown as a person. I've grown as a human. I've gotten better. I've loved over my mistakes over and over again. I've loved developing people. I found what I really want to do for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you the last word in a moment. As far as advice to anybody who wants to be successful in entrepreneurship, in network marketing, in side hustle, in whatever they're doing. But before that, I have you do that. I just want to encourage everybody who's watching to think about how many lessons were in this conversation. How many things could you apply to your business?
Yeah.
Whatever business you're in, to be able to do better.
Yeah.
What can you learn from his journey, Rakan's journey, that maybe can make your journey a little faster? Think about that. Collect ideas.
Yeah.
If you want to be excellent at anything, collect ideas from people who are excellent at what they do.
I agree.
And if you do that, it's the biggest shortcut in the world. I just don't know of anything that's faster in order to be able to go. Get around great people. Like, how many times in this story did you get around the right group, and from that group you became inspired to go do something? And also the gift of desperation. Maybe it wasn't you, it was your mom.
Yeah.
You know, it was somewhere else outside of you that pushed you and said, okay, no more. You always had it in you, but you needed a catalyst in order to be able to get there. So what advice do you have for people that are out there? You know, maybe they're in the struggle, or they're languishing in their early stage journey, or maybe they're starting over.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for them?
Well, number one, it's never too late to start over. I've had some of my leaders start over their third year and borderline make 7 figures. So it's never too late to redo. It's never really too late to restart. Find your people. It is so much fulfilling when you find your own people, your own tribe. And building network marketing as just let me recruit him to make some money. It's like, let me recruit him and create a family and make some money. The people that you start with typically are not the people that you end with.
In anything.
Yeah. Take as much risk as possible. Take as much risk as possible. Like for me, paying for whether it's GoPro, whether it's the Next Level Mastermind, they all came at a cost of me being a little bit afraid to spend some money. And when I did spend the money, it's when money came. Because I got so used to spending money on me, money just it eventually came. Never miss a convention. My God, never miss a convention. No matter if even if it's the same people speaking, even if it's the same people, even if it's the same culture, you don't know the compound effect of going to events. You don't understand the compound effect of working. And look, we can talk about spirituality all we want and the God in the universe, but man, you got to work hard. I still work all day, every day. I still like isolate myself and just create ideas, and I still message people. I still recruit people. I'm still thinking of better ways to grow. I'm still creating new trainings, and you know, I've made a couple $1 million from network marketing, and my team is thriving. You'd have to have some hustle in you, especially in the beginning, just to kind of take things off the ground. If your biggest goal in life is $5,000 a month, it's fine. But for you to get to 5,000, there's gonna be some struggles. There's gonna be some time. There's gonna be, and you just understand everything you learn in network marketing is not only for network marketing. It's for everything in life. Like I figured life through network marketing, and that's why I'm so loyal to the industry of network marketing. I love it. There's always gonna be shiny objects. I've been in the same company for almost 6 years. It's my first company, hopefully my last. I don't care to jump around. kind of focus on your mission. Doesn't matter if you're upline, downline, whoever leaves. If you have a mission and you understand that you're in the right place, this is home for you, just run it. Run it. Longevity will always beat anything else.
Well, Rakan, I would just tell you, from that convention that you came to where you were broke with your VIP ticket to today, back in my home, in our studio, having this conversation, I just tell you, I'm proud of you.
Thank you, man.
I'm proud of you for the
an honor.
effort. I'm proud of you for the sacrifice. I'm proud of you for the resilience. You're sharp as shit. You know what you're doing.
Thank you.
And you're just warming up. I kept hearing, I'm still recruiting. I'm still doing this. I'm internally rolling my eyes saying, still at 27. He's working.
I didn't mean it this way,
still he's showing
Eric,
up. He's paying the price at 27. It's just an amazing thing. I want to say still at 59.
Yeah.
You've built a global empire.
Yeah.
And
it will happen.
And empowered millions and millions.
It will happen.
Which will happen. So
the Eric Worre of the Middle East.
Yeah. Proud of you, bro.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
One thing I tell you is I think I wrote it down. I tried to find it, but I couldn't. One of my books when I first got started, when I was listening to one of the podcasts, I said I want to be on Eric Worre podcast, and here we are.
Here we are.
Crazy.
It's amazing what you can do when you set your mind to it.
I agree.
All right,
I agree.
Appreciate you, bro.
Thank you, man.
I hope you enjoyed our conversation with Rakan Khalifa as much as I did. If so, please make sure that you subscribe wherever you're watching this and you pay it forward and share it with a friend. I know that they're going to thank you for it and help us spread the word about good ideas, good information. You heard us talk about Next Level Mastermind inside of this conversation. If you'd like to learn more about that, if you're a six-figure earner and you qualify, we'll put the links into the description of the show. Until next time, go out there, make your life amazing, make your life an example that other people want to strive to attain. We'll see you next time. Take care.